What's up, everyone? All right, so here we are finishing Friday, another green day. 4 green days in a row, $10,000 in the last 4 days, and that is a great way to finish the week. I'm going to break it all down in today's midday market recap. And remember, any questions, any comments, leave them below, and I'll come back and answer them later this weekend. All right, I'll see you guys on Monday. All right, everyone, so we're going to start going over the trades from this morning. I'm finishing the day here up $2,087.36. Not bad. So that's the 4th green day in a row, and it puts me up about $10,000 across the last 4 days. I am still down about $3,000 on the month, but this is a really good step in the right direction. And, a couple more green days next week, and I'll be back into the green and can start to focus on the task at hand, which is trying to salvage some profit out of the month of August. August historically has been a difficult month for me. It's not going to be the first month that I struggled a little bit, or the first time I've had an August that was a little bit of a struggle. So part of it is a little seasonal here. We're kind of in the slow summer months. Trading can be a little bit more subdued. We don't see as much volatility. Not as many buyers. That means the breakouts are not as big and not as sustained. And, that means if you try to swing for the fences, if you try to get aggressive, more often than not, you're going to get stopped out and you're going to take losses. So I've been keeping with my 6,000 share max size today, and I was happy with that. Under my light speed trading size settings, I kept myself at my warning of 6,001 share. So no size bigger than 6,000, and to make $2,000 with 6,000 shares is good. I think that's pretty solid. So AWX is the big mover today. This one, when I first saw it on the scans, I was like, I don't think I'm going to want to trade this. AWX, it made this huge move, a couple weeks ago, and now I feel like it's just, I don't know. I just don't think it's worth trading. What's really interesting is that it has more volume today than it had on any of those days during the move. And I think what that says is that there's a lot of traders who missed the move who decide to trade it today. Kind of a little bit of FOMO and stuff like that. So it attracted a lot more retail traders. And it's going to, by the end of the day, probably be above 20 million shares of volume. So it's going to be really high volume. But here's the thing. This is gapping up on earnings that were posted after hours last night on Thursday. Squeezed up to a high of 487. It was on our gap scanner. So this morning I said, all right, guys, let's look at the gap scanner, historical time. We're going to run this for 9:15 a.m. I said, all right, look what our leading gapper is. Actually, we had ESEA as a gapper, but that one had very light volume, so I didn't trade that one. AWX up 60% with 1 million shares of volume. This is a stock we're definitely going to be watching. And I said I have a bias to buy this on a break of the pre-market high for a long. So the break of the pre-market high is there at 87, 85. The bell rings, and the first thing I did was punch the buy button to buy 6,000 shares at $4.90. I ended up selling it pretty quickly because it kind of looked like there was a hidden seller there. And I was a little nervous about getting in at 490 because it had just dropped to 450. So it popped from 450 up to 490. I felt like I was getting in a little on the high side. So when I started to see a little bit of resistance, I started selling more at 98, a little bit, and then I guess the rest at 98. And then I added back at 516, 519, selling at 524, 533. And just like that, within 2 minutes, I was up $1,000 on the day. So what I did was I just traded this move here from 490 up to the high of about $5.40 right here. We hit 568, and then we started to pull back a little bit. So on this one, we had this pullback, and on the 1-minute chart, you can see that this looks decent for a pop up here. But on the 5-minute chart, I thought at that point that because we had this shooting star red doji candle, that it was too weak and I wouldn't be able to buy it in this area. And I was wrong. It ended up squeezing up here from 540 all the way up to $6.67. I mean, it put in a nice big move. So, you know, I ended up not getting in and not making anything on that, which is why I think I could have done a little better on it. But, you know, in any case, $2,000 is a great day. 1,700 of it came from AWX, and I can feel pretty good about that. So, you know, at this point, when it was consolidating up here, I said, nope, I don't want to trade it. It's too far above the 9 moving average. It's above the 20 moving average. I'm not interested. And then it had, sweet, thanks. And then it ended up selling off, and you can see now it's actually going low of day. So this, I mean, opportunity on the front and the back side of the move, it really is not holding up well at all. So it looks like it's going to probably close the day red, and I'll be happy that I took my profit, you know, way up here when I finally bailed out. So, you know, a nice winner there. And then CARV, CARV, this was the other one that I jumped into. A big move yesterday in the afternoon. You can see this squeeze from $4 up to almost $8, nearly 100% yesterday. And as I was watching it during the classes, I knew that there was no catalyst, but it was moving quickly, and it was certainly tempting. So this morning, I was watching it to see if it would break over 640. It didn't. It sold off out of the gates, and then it did a red to green move, where this first candle was red, and then the second candle started to pop up. And so that's where I jumped in right here for the red to green move. Popped up to a high of $6.40. I sold at $6.24, and then I stopped out the rest as it came back down, and I made $354 on 2,800 shares. So wasn't a big trade. It didn't end up working out super well, but, you know, green is good. So with that, I said, you know what, guys, it's 9:55 or something like that. I'm going to throw in the towel. Green is good. This is a great way to finish the week. There's nothing better than finishing Friday with a couple of green trades, so I'm not going to push my luck. I'm going to take the money and, you know, hit the road, be done with it. So that's the plan here, and I still have a little ways to go to get myself out of the hole, but I should be able to do it hopefully on Monday or Tuesday if we have some decent trading, and get back to, you know, green on the month, and then see if I can make, I don't know, $10,000, $20,000 this month. Last August, I made only about $5,000 or $6,000. So realistically, anything more than that is a year-over-year improvement, which would be great. And if I can get, I guess, closer to 20,000, that would be terrific. But it really does depend on the market. I mean, this is one of those things where if August continues to be slow, I'll have to continue to trade with small size, which means the winners will be smaller. But you know what? $2,000 a day. If I can grind on these types of numbers and avoid taking any losses, any big losses, I'll be in great shape. You know, $20,000 a day, even if I hit that only 3 days a week, or $2,000 a day, even if I hit that only 3 days a week, that's $6,000 a week. You know, that allows for maybe a small green day, a small red day. 6 times 4 is 24,000. You know, that's $24,000 a month. So I can definitely grind on these types of numbers. The big thing is just keeping the stops tight. So I did have one loser today on AWX. I got in it, I actually got faked out. I got in it at 5:15. Let's see, where was it? Oh no, it was 5:15. I was in it here holding for this break over the highs, and it dropped down, and I stopped out at 5, and then it surged back up, and I just got back in at 5:40. So I lost $200 on the loser, and then got right back in and ended up making $600 on the next trade. So I kept the loss tight. My kind of rule of thumb this week has been like 30-cent max loss. If it's down more than 30 cents, I got to bail, and I've done a good job following that rule. So keep it going next week. I still have my rules for the month of August here on this piece of paper. Rule number 1, shut off the monitor after your recap so you don't get tempted into FOMO. Number 2, $2,000 max loss on the day. The max loss is set up with my broker. Number 3, if I have 3 red trades in a row, shut it down. Number 4, tight stops, 30-cent max loss. These are the rules that will keep me going, right? This is a market where, this is a career where it's survive till you thrive. And keeping these rules in place is what's going to help keep me afloat during what may be a choppy month and a little bit of a slow period, but that's okay. So if we take a quick look here at my trader view stats, someone asked me a question about my trades. So these stats are not updated for the month of August yet. These are as of, well, I can go year to date, whatever, but these are as of the end of July. So you can see July, I had a couple red days, not too bad. August for sure got off to a rough start. But if we look at the overall, the detailed, this is over the course year to date, 68% accuracy. All right, so my accuracy is 68%. It's almost crazy to me how, if I take this out and just go, this is over the course of 2,600 trades, my accuracy is 69%. I mean, this is like, it is over a huge period of historical data. That is my number. It's 68, 69% on gross, doing net profit, which means trades that were like a $5 winner, but were actually a loser after commissions. My accuracy is 66%, 67%. So 67, 68%, that's really, where I'm at. And then when we look at the average winners and the average losers, my average winners over the last several years, $970. Average losers, $896. So I'm very close to a 1-to-1 profit-loss ratio. And I know that what I can do to become a better trader is tighten up the losses. The largest gain here, $12,000 loser. If I look at, let's see, by instrument, the stocks that I've lost the most money on this stock QUMU, I lost $13,000. This one, $10,000. IZEA, HTBX, $10,000. I mean, all of these are big losses. Right there, you're looking at like $75,000 in losers. So if I could get better at just bailing out quickly, that for me could be the difference between, making whatever, $900,000 and making 1.5 million. If I can tighten up these losers. Having the winners be bigger is hard because I can't control how strong the market's going to be, but I can control how long I'm going to hold a loser. And it's something that I struggle with. In the heat of the moment, when you get into a trade and you're in with 10,000 shares, and 5 seconds later you're down $3,000, you can just have that deer in the headlights where you don't make the right decision. And training yourself to bail out quickly, to recognize those exit indicators and get out of the trade is so important. And ultimately, you got to get good at it with small size and then condition yourself so that when you finally get to trading 8 or 10,000 shares, you don't react differently because there's more money on the line and your emotions are higher. You've conditioned yourself so you're feeling the same way as you felt a year and a half ago when you were trading with, 5,000 shares. So that for me is the big one, trying to tighten up those losers, and then my profit loss ratio will improve. And even if my accuracy stays exactly the same, that's fine. This is great accuracy. I've got no problem there. This is my issue. It's that my average losers are bigger than I'd like them to be. And of course, they get drawn down when you have one or two $12,000 losses. Those are brutal. So on AWX today, one loss, $200, and the rest were green. So that's a solid day, and I think we, kind of called the top on this pretty well by walking away instead of trying to push for another trade up here around 650, 670. So I feel good about that, and I'm just happy to finish the week with a green trade. I finished last week with, I think it was, like 3 red days or 2 red days in a row, and so this is just a much nicer way to end the week here. All right, so I hope you guys all have an awesome weekend. All of you who are in the Warrior Pro class, we've got live classes starting in about an hour at noontime. Those of you guys who want to sit side by side with me and trade, you can do it in Orlando, Florida in September. All right, come join us for the Inner Circle seminar. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've still got a few tickets left, and you'll be able to really sit side by side with me while we're trading. We'll all trade together. Hopefully we'll make some money, and we'll have a couple of good days. It'll be a lot of fun either way. You'll get to watch me trade. You'll get to learn a ton about trading, meet a bunch of other traders, attend the keynote speeches, meet some guys from Benzinga and Lightspeed and Taz Market Profile, and meet the whole team at Warrior Trading down in Orlando. So that's coming up in September. Would love to have you guys join us, and would love to meet you guys face to face. So that's coming up soon, and I think Mike can probably post the link here in the chat room for you guys. All right, so that's it for me, and I'll be back at it first thing Monday morning. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. All right, I'll see you all on Monday.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Well, I was just working on the dream board for my next home run trade. Hopefully it comes soon. Until then, make sure you subscribe to get email alerts anytime I go live or upload new videos. Until then, happy surfing